Hi everyone, this is Sig Suarez and welcome to another episode of Watch Manila. Today we are taking a look at the limited edition Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Ultra Thin Kingsman watch. This watch has been produced for the Kingsman movie in 2020 and there are only 100 pieces of this watch produced. So let's take a look at the watch, let's do an unboxing, and let's do a quick review. Before we go further, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Watch Manila. Please also visit us on Instagram and follow us at watch_MNL for some amazing content. As I have previously discussed in my other videos, JLC is one of the most respected Swiss watch brands in the world, and it is commonly referred to as the watchmaker of watchmakers. JLC has produced the movements or the base for the initial releases of the wildly popular Patek Philippe Nautilus, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, and Vacheron Constantin 222, known in its present form as the Overseas. I won't dwell so much on JLC's history on this video, so let's jump right into the unboxing. You're gonna get a Kingsman box and inside should be the JLC box. You open the drawer and you get a warranty card and the manual. We set it aside and we now go to the main JLC box. And you take a look at it, you see the watch, and there's also an extra strap provided by the authorized dealer, which is hard to come by because of that triangular cutout which is needed for the triangular bow in the 12 o'clock of the watch. It's time to take a look at the watch and look at this beautiful and stunning piece. You will get to appreciate it more when we take it out as you take a look at how thin it is and how clean the lines are. This is a very exquisite piece and it is limited to 100 pieces. Let's have a quick rundown of the specifications of the watch. This is a reference 3402393. The case is 40 mm in 18K pink gold. The height is 4.25 and the height means the thickness. The movement is the JLC caliber 849, which is a manual winding movement with a 35-hour power reserve. This watch is limited to 100 pieces as mentioned earlier, and it had an SRP of $29,800 or plus minus 1.5 million pesos during the time when it was launched in 2020. The watch is simply stunning. You really have to experience and feel the watch yourself in order to fully appreciate it. The Kingsman watch was inspired by a JLC pocket watch released way back over 100 years ago in 1907. The broad bezel slopes gently from the sapphire crystal to the edge of the case, which gives the appearance reminiscent of a knife blade. Another notable feature is the triangular bow on top, which protects the winding crown. I'll highlight three things for this quick review: the thickness, the materials, and the movement. For comparison, the typical Rolex Datejust 36 is around 12 mm thick. The JLC Ultra Thin Moon, which we reviewed last time, is at 9.3 mm, and the Patek Philippe Calatrava comes in at 8.08 mm. But the Master Ultra Thin Kingsman watch is only 4.25 mm thick, almost half of the thinnest watch which I've mentioned. Not surprisingly, this watch feels light despite it being in gold because of how thin it is. This Kingsman watch uses an 18K pink gold case. The watch uses a brown alligator leather strap and it has a pink gold pin buckle at the end. One tidbit which has been skipped by most reviewers of this piece is that the strap is also thinner and softer than most leather straps found on formal watches. This thinner strap profile fits perfectly on this knife watch. Turn the watch to the back side and you will see the Kingsman logo and an inscription of limited edition 1 of 100. Now on to the movement. This watch uses the well-known JLC caliber 849, which is a manual winding movement with a power reserve of 35 hours. SJX has noted that JLC should have probably put in a more sophisticated movement in this watch given its price point. One question which people might ask if it feels fragile to use. Surprisingly, it feels very solid. Then again, this is JLC and we do not expect poor quality from JLC. The watch is simply well made. Also, as expected, the watch is very light. When you use it, you really don't feel much. The question now is the watch worth it? I will have to agree with our friend from JLC, Tarek, when he said that this is a trophy watch. There is no logic involved in the purchase of a watch like this or a watch on this price point. It is purely emotional and it's purely for appreciation. Objectively, the watch is very plain. The dial is textured and grainy. This is a time-only piece as it has no other activity except to tell the time. And lastly, the power reserve on the movement is relatively short at 35 hours. It is true that you could buy a regular JLC Ultra Thin for half the price, a Vacheron Constantin Patrimony or Traditional for less, or a Patek Philippe Calatrava at a similar price point. However, if you purchase any of those watches which I mentioned, you miss out on owning a technically magnificent limited edition watch. While the Kingsman watch may not have the bells and whistles of other high-end watches, this boasts one of the thinnest watch cases in the industry. And the movement which they were able to fit in this very thin watch is just fantastic for its dimensions. The absence of other features on the watch is likely because of the limitations brought about by the slimness of the watch case. Overall, when you purchase a watch like this, you are rewarding yourself and you are not too keen in equating the functions and the materials to the price point of the watch. This watch is not for everyone, but I am sure that everyone who has this watch is extremely happy. So for me, this watch is well worth it and this watch is absolutely beautiful. There will be other opinions and I would also love to hear what your opinion is on this watch. That is it for the JLC Master Ultra Thin Kingsman watch. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching and this has been Sig Suarez and continue to join me watch the watches.